What about this? What about that? Peace, folk, and welcome back to another edition of the Prophet of Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T. YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Well, today I'm bringing you another What About from the What About series. And as y'all know, I've been looking at a lot of this court stuff. I've been watching quite a bit of it. And today we are in the courtroom of the Honorable Judge Kenneth J. King out of Detroit, Michigan. And let me say this before I even begin. Judge King is a decent judge. He's another judge that I consider to be hard but fair. He will give you a fair shake, but one thing you don't want to do is cross him. All right? That being said, I usually bring y'all cases of people getting slammed by the judge or people getting a little too much leniency by a judge. Brother Judge King is not that way. He's pretty even-handed most of the time. 99% of the time, he's a pretty even-handed judge. But today, you're going to see when your honor shows you honorable humanity. I'm going to bring you 3 cases where Judge King shows people some humanity. 3 brothers are coming before him to get their bonds reduced. And I believe that if it was any other judge, they would have handled these cases a lot differently than the Honorable Judge King handled it. But you will see for yourself. We're going to go ahead and get at it. And as always, fair use, Negroes. Fair use. So, let's get at it, folks. All right. So, we're going to begin first with this brother in the bottom right-hand corner. Like I said earlier, all of these brothers that come before you today, or should I say come before the Honorable Judge King, they are looking to get their bonds reduced. They are in jail. I believe they've been arraigned already, and this is sort of like a bond hearing, if you will. They've already had a bond placed on them, but the brothers that you see coming in here today are trying to get it lowered, reduced, and they all are represented. Something I forgot to mention, they are all represented by a public defender. And I know I always, criticize these public defenders, but this particular public defender is actually pretty good, and he has a good rapport with the Honorable Judge King. And I think that works for him. And it definitely works in the brother's favor. But let's get at it. And as always, fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Yes, Judge.
And we have Mr. Hart here.
Okay.
Calling case number 2206-089501, people of the state of Michigan versus Michael Hart. Defendant is charged in count 1, larceny from the person. Count 2, weapons, firearm, receiving and concealing. Count 3, weapons, firearm, possession by felon. Count 4, weapons carrying concealed. Count 5, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 6, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 7, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 8, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 9, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 10, malicious destruction of personal property, 200 to 1,000. Count 11, domestic violence.
Hold on a second, Mr. Reagan. Mr. McCarthy.
Now, they just rattled off 11 charges. Now, understand this. The Honorable Judge King only does felonies. So they just rattled off 11 felonies. Now, granted, a lot of those felonies was repetitive. I think like 4 or 5 of them were like the same thing. I guess they were underlying charges on top of some other crime. But 11 felonies just got rattled off. Keep that in mind. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Yes. Sir, you need to put some clothes on.
Now, this guy at the bottom here, he was in here. He's coming to court, right? Or should I say, doing a Zoom court hearing. He's attending a Zoom court hearing in front of a judge with no shirt on. Now, I don't know what's wrong with Negroes. I guess Negroes just don't have time and spatial awareness. But if you're in front of a judge, even if you're on Zoom, at the very least, you need to have a shirt on. At the very least, you need to look appropriate and carry yourself appropriately. You're a grown-ass man. You shouldn't have to be told to put clothes on by the judge as you attend a court proceeding, even if it's via Zoom. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
All right. Oh, shit. Go ahead, Mr. Reagan.
Judge, I'm sorry. Judge, Mr. Hart was given an unaffordable bond on a previous date, $10,000, 10%. He's 38 years of age, Judge. He does have some prior contacts. Judge, I believe just based on the charges, this was a case he allegedly, I guess, took a gun or stole a gun from somebody that he was in a relationship with, I'm assuming. Trina Barron, Judge, he won't have any contact with. I know the charges seem like a lot because of the felony firearms. You keep getting a felony firearm count with every underlying felony. But Judge, he doesn't make a lot of money. He works as a handyman. He won't have contact with Trina. I'm asking the court for $10,000 personal with a tether just to ensure that he doesn't have contact so he can keep track of Mr. Hart at all times. But again, Judge, I think $10,000, 10%, he can't post that bond. It's like a remand to him. He won't have contact with the complaining witness.
Now, his bail is $10,000 surety bond, right? 10%, right? He has to pay of that with a tether. A tether is like a GPS thing where they can keep track of you. They can see where you go, you know, when you're home, when you're not, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that's what his bond is right now. $10,000 with the tether. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Yeah, don't mute yourself.
Sorry. I think that bond is actually pretty low for this kind of case. So I would ask for no reduction at this time.
And of course, the district attorney is like, no, leave it the way it is. 10,000 is good. Do not reduce it, Your Honor, please. But we continue.
It's pretty much basically a misdemeanor DV.
Supposed to get out. How much can you post to get out of jail?
I can't hear you, sir. You talking to me?
Yes, sir. How much can you post?
Sir, honestly, I don't have any cash now, but when I get out, I can do some jobs. And I will be able to pay like a teller fee as I work, but that's about it. I don't have any cash right now. I have like $60 in my account.
So the brother's like, I don't have any money, Your Honor. My ass broke. I got a few dollars on my books. I can't pay anything, Your Honor. I cannot pay anything. But we continue.
That I had on me, but I can probably sell I have a motorcycle I always want to sell once I get out, but I don't have any cash right now.
Who's been taking care of you, sir?
I don't have any kids or anything, so I take care of myself. My house just recently got burnt up, like 2.5 months ago. So I've been kind of going through I've been staying with my cousin, Myra Hart, on St. Mary Street.
Now, oftentimes when I hear this kind of stuff, right, I'm like, the violin needs to be playing. Well, forget the violin, the whole damn orchestra, all right? The whole philharmonic needs to be playing during these times. And the judge will entertain it, all right? The Honorable Judge King will entertain it. He'll listen to, your sad song. He will listen to it. But I think today there's some sincerity there. There's some sincerity involved today. And you will see throughout this how the judge responds to the violence playing. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
So she helped out.
Myra Hart is taking care of you.
Say it again, sir.
So Myra Hart is taking care of you.
Myra Hart does help me, yes, and that's who I would be tell her to if I ever tell her. Yes, she will help me. But she worked for Enterprise, and she do have a family too. I'm really concerned about my dogs I left at her house because she's scared of them, and I don't want them to freeze or nothing like that.
You got to get out to get to them dogs. We continue.
But I promise I will do better, and I will not go around treating a barrier.
Yeah,
Why don't you have a job?
Say it again, sir.
Why don't you have a job?
Why don't you got a job, Negro?
Yes, I was previously working for Plumbing Express, but they got low on work, so I stopped working with them, and I started doing my plumbing jobs on the side.
You need a job.
I'm going.
Y'all heard the judge, but we continue.
I would get one if you. I would get one. I can get one.
I know you can. There are plenty of jobs out there.
Mr. King, I will get one.
Judge, let's make that a conditional bond, and he'll try to get a job. He can get out on personal. When he comes back before you, he can show proof that he's been trying to get a job.
Now listen to the attorney. You hear how the attorney is lobbying him. Now you can tell that the attorney and the judge have a bit of a rapport, right? They're probably familiar with each other. They probably had a beer or two together, or took in a basketball game together. You can tell that by the energy between the public defender and the judge. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
They no trying. I could show proof that I have a job.
That's right. He'll show proof he got one, Judge.
Okay, so if I cut this deal with you, if you don't have a job, you go back to jail?
He said, so I cut this deal. When you come back, you better have a gig or back into the hoop scowl you go. But we continue.
Is that
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And notice the brother was like, yeah.
Pretty confident.
But wait, how long do I got, though? I don't want to do that now.
He changed his mind. Like, wait a damn minute. If I don't have a job, I'm going to jail? No, y'all, I don't want to do that. And look at the judge. Look at the judge. The judge is laughing like, yeah, right, Negro. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Hold on.
That's a good question.
Come here, but
That's why I said proof of trying to get a job.
Just give me some time. I know a guy at the Corleones near my house, and he wouldn't mind. He known me since I was a kid. He wouldn't mind. I tell him my situation. He'll have me working.
When is this probable cause conference date, Mr. Reagan?
December 19th, Your Honor. 6 days. That's enough time for him to go out and get that job. Come back and show you.
I'm going to change his PCC date.
Okay.
Now you see what the judge is doing? He was supposed to come back for a PCC, that's a probable cause conference, in 6 days. The judge is even willing to push his PCC back. So that means he's letting his brother out. Now, once again, this brother has 11 felonies that he's charged with. 11. All right? But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I'm going to change his PCC date to January 9th at 8:30. I'll reduce the bond to $10,000 personal with the GPS tether. No contact with the complaining witness.
You hear that? $10,000 personal, meaning sign on a dotted line. He walks out the door with the tether. Remember, the tether is a GPS locator where they can watch where he goes, right? I guess they give him like an ankle monitor or something like that. But he's letting this brother out with 11 felonies. Now, y'all may say to yourself, damn, 11 felonies and he's getting out. Again, 4 or 5 of them were the same exact charge. Also, what needs to be noticed is that the evidence isn't that great, and the judge sees that. So he's willing to let this brother out. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
You understand what I mean by no contact?
Yes, Mr. King.
None whatsoever. Even through a third party.
Last part, I can hear you.
I said that's even through a third party. No contact whatsoever.
Whatsoever.
And you must have a job by January 9th.
I have it, Mr. King.
All right.
Do y'all believe the brother? Do y'all believe him? Do you think he's going to have that gig when he comes back in January? It's December now. That's a whole month. The judge is telling him, when you come back here, you better show me that you got some type of gig when you come back. Do y'all believe him? Me, I do. Y'all may not, but I believe the brother. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Thank you, Judge, very much.
It's not a good idea to not show up, okay? That's going to make matters worse.
And he's right. Because like I said, Judge King is fair. He is. Now, he's hard, but he is fair. You cross him now, he hammers you. Yeah, he hammers you if you cross him. But if you don't cross him, he's pretty fair. I watch a lot of the Honorable King stuff. He's a pretty fair judge. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I always show up to my court dates, Mr. King.
All right, I don't know how to take that. We shouldn't have too many court dates, but okay.
Now, look at this, right? 3 brothers, right? You got the defendant, you got the public defender, you got the judge, right? White lady district attorney. Notice how these 3 brothers are interacting. And the white district attorney who objected to his bond reduction, she's shutting her ass up. She's not saying anything. She's letting these 3 black men, the public defender, the defendant, and the judge, these 3 black men are talking, and this woman is silent. And she's the district attorney who has a right to object. The woman's not saying a word. She knows when to shut her ass up. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You're all set.
Have a good day, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Thank you.
So the brother's getting out. He gonna walk. He gonna sign on the dotted line. They gonna put a ankle monitor on him, and he gonna roll on out the door. So he's good. But we continue.
Yeah, I got that. Well, the first one was you look, you put Marcus with her.
What's your name, sir? What's your name?
Oh, ma'am? My name is Marcus Walker.
He said, ma'am. Maybe he thought the district attorney was talking, but we continue.
All right. Mr. Walker thinks I'm a woman, but okay.
He don't have his glasses on, Judge. He don't think you're a woman.
You ready, Judge?
Yes.
Calling case number 2206089701, people of the state of Michigan versus Marcus Walker. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation. Count 2, weapons, firearm, possession by felon. Count 3, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 4, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 5, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 6, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 7, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 8.
You see how the brother looking like, wait a minute, damn, I got all these damn charges? But like I said, a lot of them are repetitive. He's like being charged with the same exact thing multiple times. It's crazy. I guess that's just how they do it in Michigan. I don't know. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Domestic violence.
Appearances for the record, please.
Okay, so the brother has like 8 felonies, right? Keep that in mind, 8 felonies. And a little side note here. This particular case here is a little different. If you have any humanity, you will see what I'm saying as this goes along. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drain for the people, P number 60249.
Judge, we said Marcus Walker, correct?
Correct.
Philip Reagan on behalf of Marcus Walker, Judge, who's appearing via Zoom from the Wayne County Jail. That's you, Mr. Walker?
Yes, sir. That's me.
Maybe I need my glasses. He's 64 years old. Mr. Walker, you 64?
I'm 64, yes, sir.
Yeah, he's 64. He's in good shape. He's taking care of himself. He doesn't even have a gray hair on his head. But we continue.
Okay. 64. Tell me your name, sir.
Sir.
Tell me your name.
Marcus Walker. Marcus Anthony Walker.
All right. What's your pleasure, Mr. Reagan?
Judge, Mr. Walker on a previous date was given an unaffordable bond, $35,000 cash, surety with the GPS tether, which is unaffordable. Judge, he's 64 years of age, does have some prior non-assaultive crimes, Judge, from 1997, 1989.
Now, the brother's record hasn't done anything since 1997. That's a long time ago. That's 25 whole years ago. All right. His other charges was 1989. So it's like the man's got 25, 30 years old charges. So this judge, this particular judge, that means nothing to him. Your charges is like 20 years old. He doesn't even think about it. He doesn't even think about it. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
A while ago. Now, Emma Moxley is the complaining witness. He will have absolutely no contact with Miss Moxley. Mr. Walker was employed, Judge, at Kylan Industries as a machinist. He is now laid off, unfortunately, but he does get SSI. So he does have some income, Judge. He can afford, Judge, about $600. If the court was inclined to reduce bond and maybe $6,000, 10%, he has $600 he can afford. He's a high school graduate. He has a trade. So that's why he was a machinist.
Now, everything he's rattling off, notice how the judge is paying attention. All right. He's a machinist. He got like $600. Judge dropped the bond down to $6,000. I can give you this $600 and you can let me out, you know? And the lawyer, all right, Attorney Reagan here is lobbying for these brothers very well. He's one of the better public defenders that I've seen, because usually the public defenders, man, they are garbage. But Mr. Reagan is good. He lobbies, all right? He He get in there, man, and he'll get dirty for you. And he'll shoot his shot for you, too. And like I said, he has a rapport with the Honorable Judge King. And I think that goes a long way. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Looking for work now, Judge, since he's been laid off. Again, he will have no contact with this young lady. She lives at a different address than he does, so there's no need for contact. I'm asking for a reduction in bond from the $35,000 cash. Judge, I'm going to ask for a personal because I think that a personal with a tether would suffice. But if the court does not feel that is sufficient, we would ask for at most a $6,000 10% bond.
Now, when I was first watching this, I could tell that whatever Attorney Reagan had asked for, he was going to get no matter what he asked for. Because I know the Honorable Judge King is going to consider the brother's age. And not only that, once he said that, you know, he was a working man and, you know, he haven't done anything for 25 years, I knew Judge King was going to do whatever Attorney Reagan was going to ask. I knew that when I was watching it, but we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Sir, I was in Marines too.
Your Honor, I'm not objecting to a reduction in the bond.
And listen, the district attorney says she's not even objecting to the bond being reduced. So he got a foot out the door already, because the district attorney doesn't even have a problem with his bond being reduced, because his bond is $35,000 cash, meaning that he has to pay 35 grand. And who's got that just laying around unless you're some type of millionaire? But the district attorney, she doesn't have a problem with it. So the brother got a foot out the door. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
All right. You say you're a Marine as well?
Yeah, I was in Marine. I worked for the military police. I processed court-martial for General Meade.
Okay.
I was going to say that.
Thank you for your service. The court is going to reduce bond to $6,000 10%.
See that? Dropped it right down to what the attorney asked for. But check this out.
Thank you, Judge, very much. Okay.
Can I ask more questions? The $600 is in my account. I can't get to it because it's in the account in the jail, and I don't have any family. I got 2 kids in foster care.
Now, when the brother got locked up, he had $600 in his pocket, so they went ahead and put it like in his account.
Their mother got murdered 3 years ago, and I have the 2 kids. They're in foster care. The brother was in a car accident 2 years ago. He died. So I just got the 2 kids. I don't have any family. I'm from Pittsburgh. And the kids' Christmas is coming up. They're in foster care.
Judge, would the court consider a $10,000 or $35,000 personal bond? We can have that $600 for the kids for Christmas.
You see how Attorney Reagan threw that in there? Now look at the judge. He's thinking about it. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
If he gets it back, Judge, it's in his account. I don't know what the jail will do, or how the Wayne County Jail will give it back. If they give it back, they might put it on his account, use it for expenses since he's been there. But I don't know how that's going to work. He might not even get the $600 back, Judge.
And notice, white lady district attorney just shutting her ass up. She's not saying anything. Now, y'all may get mad at me because I say this, but if this district attorney was a black broad, her black ass would be chiming in. She would have something to say. And y'all know I'm right. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
How old are the kids?
How old are the kids? Mr. Walker.
Sir?
How old are the kids?
Oh, the kids are 8 and 11. I have the number for it. It's $595-0313.
Mr. Walker, you seem to really love these kids.
Yes, he does. He can barely keep it together. His babies are in foster care. His babies are in foster care. And you can see that the brother can barely keep it together. And guess what? The judge can see this. This, good folk, is humanity. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I'm sure it's not easy for you being in jail at this time. You need to be there for them, am I correct?
Yeah, that's right, sir. That's right.
All right, so understand this, sir. You are to have no contact with the complaining witness in this matter.
I will
not
not.
Find out that you have any contact with her whatsoever in any form or fashion, you're going to find yourself back in jail. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You don't want that, do you? You don't want that, do you? All right.
No contact.
35,000 personal.
Thank you, Judge.
$35,000 personal bond. The brother gets to sign on the line. He walks out the door with the 8 felonies. Because I say again, Judge King does not do misdemeanors. He's a felony judge. You go before him when you got felonies. There's a big old F behind your charge. He signs on a dotted line. He walks out the door. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. And shout out to attorney Phil Reagan. Because like I said, he gets in there, man, and he fights for brothers, man. He gets in there and he fights for brothers. And shout out to the district attorney for shutting her ass up when black men are speaking. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Don't disappoint me, sir.
Sir.
I said, don't disappoint me.
I won't. I won't.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Good luck, Mr. Walker.
Thank you.
Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Humanity. There is a place for humanity amongst men. Just like there's a place for honor amongst men. You are seeing it today, Negroes. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Miss James. Miss James? What's your name, sir?
Okay, this brother here with the crazy hair all over the place. He is in a similar situation, right? But you're going to see some humanity for him as well. But a surprise is coming. I'll leave it at that. But fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Deion Collins.
Oh, Deion Collins. Okay. Yes.
Calling case number 2206-089601. People of the state of Michigan versus Deion Collins. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation. Count 2, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 3, domestic violence.
Appearances for the record, please.
Now you see the brother has 3 charges. 1, 2, 3. But we continue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drain for the people, P number 60249.
Your Honor, Reagan, P57156 on behalf of Deon Collins, who's appearing via Zoom from the Wayne County Jail.
Tell me your name, Mr. Collins.
Sorry?
Tell me your name for the record.
Deon Collins.
Mr. Reagan?
Judge, Mr. Collins was given a unaffordable bond on the previous day, $10,000 cash. He's 22 years old, Judge. And the complaint, China McGee, she's pregnant with Mr. Collins' child. This is, pretty much a domestic violence case, Judge. She doesn't live with him. She lives in another city. But we spoke with Mr. Collins, and, there's been some assaultive behavior, both ways, I guess, Judge, or coming from her to him, and they, get into it a lot. We try, you got to explain to him he's young. He's got to be able to walk away or just not be in a relationship, Judge. There's no way you should end up in jail on a domestic situation. It's not worth it, Judge. He's going to live with his father and his cousin. He doesn't have any contact with her, won't have contact with her. And, it's something that they're going to have to deal with in the future, obviously, if they're going to have a child together. Unfortunately, his mother passed away a few years ago.
Okay, here come the violins, right? The violins is coming now.
And that's affected him with some mental situations. He ended up in a hospital, psych hospital, after his mom passed away, which was very traumatic to Mr. Collins. He still does suffer from anxiety. He has some issues with that, Judge. But the main issue is he, not having contact right now with Miss McGee and learning how to deal with his emotions. He's 22, he's young, and he has time to do this, Judge. Doesn't have any prior criminal record, no criminal record.
Now, put a pin in this. He has no criminal record, no priors, none. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Not on probation or parole. So he has time. He's seeking employment, Judge. He's seeking employment.
Yeah, he's seeking employment. But we continue.
How long have you been seeking employment, Mr. Collins? How long have you been looking for work? And why haven't you gotten a job yet?
I've been seeking for employment for the past month. I was employed at Domino's.
Okay.
But I wanted to seek higher employment with higher pay.
So you left the job before you got another one?
So you left the job before you got another one. And look at his attorney like, geez. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Yes, sir. I've been looking for it.
Why would you do that?
Don't do that. Okay.
You said what?
Why would you do that? Why would you leave a job before you got another one?
Because I was looking for a higher pay, Judge. I had plans.
You're not working at all. You're getting zero pay now.
You're getting zero pay now. Now, keep in mind, when Attorney Reagan was rattling off, the generic, he's 22, his mom died. Y'all might have missed it, but he said the brother had psychological problems. All right. So there is that. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Judge, it doesn't, Judge. That's why he's getting that knowledge from you. You got to tell him about that. He's 22. That's not a smart move. It's not. And
now the Attorney Reagan is beating the judge in the head now. Because look at the judge. The judge is grinning and laughing because he knows Attorney Reagan is beating him in his head right now. He knows that. But we continue.
I'm glad you're saying that to him, Judge. I know he's going to listen to you. Not smart.
So I have a fundamental issue. Although I know these are just allegations at this time, I have an issue with a man putting his hands on a woman anyway. But a pregnant woman at that, a woman that's carrying your child,
Hey, Judge, like you said,
Most of the issues he has.
No, Judge, like you said, they're allegations. And I think we talked to Mr. Collins, and I think this is kind of going both ways. She gets really, really irate, Judge. She starts to hit him, and he never calls the police on her because he doesn't want her to go to jail. And I get that, but both people got to slow down with the physical stuff, Judge. The hands, and I understand that, and it's a better way. And I'm glad that.
Now, once he started talking about what the woman was doing, you saw the DA sit back a little bit because she wasn't really paying that much attention until then. I think that's where Attorney Reagan messed up. That's where he messed up. Because once he started talking about what the woman was doing, now he has gotten the attention of the district attorney. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
He's before you, Judge, because he's 22, and you can advise him on some things as well, Judge. I mean, he's got to walk away. He's got to walk away from her. If she gets irate and upset and starts swinging.
Notice her eyes are wide open now. She paying all kinds of attention. Pay attention to the top left-hand corner. That district attorney is paying all kinds of attention now. And you can tell after he's done, she has something to say. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
You got to walk away. He has to do that because he's going to end up here. She's not going to end up here because she's having the baby.
May I state for the record, she busted out my window, my roommate's window.
And there he goes saying something that has nothing to do with this case. Has nothing to do with this case. I hate when Negroes do this. Just shut your ass up unless the judge asks you something. Shut your ass up. Shut up. Shut up, Negro. But we continue. And look, I don't think y'all can see. There's a brother at the bottom. And the look on his face is like, man, you shouldn't have said that shit. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Hold on, Mr. Collins.
Here it comes.
Thank you, Judge. Well, I guess first of all, I'm disappointed that this case is kind of turning into what the complainant here has done. We are here because of what Mr. Collins has done.
See? That's why you have to shut your ass up. If you're gonna get buried, don't get buried because you're talking. It's bad enough that Attorney Reagan made a misstep here by mentioning what the girl does, all right? And then you add in, oh, she broke my window. She broke my roommate's house. Nope. That messed you up. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Okay.
So, and I would indicate that these are, first of all, we have an assault by strangulation, and the police report indicates that the police did see marks around her neck, and there was a threat with a knife. So this is, the allegations are unacceptable, Your Honor, and I'm asking for no reduction at this time. And it also seems like blaming the complainant in this case, it's all her fault, right?
See, like I said, once you start mentioning what the woman is doing, you're gonna have problems with the district attorney. Y'all know how it goes. They stick together. Or at the very least, they all agree. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
So that doesn't bode well, I think, for the defendant here.
Yeah, no, absolutely not blaming the complaint. You can't, no blaming.
No.
I suppose you can't post anything, right? Because you don't have a job.
He said, I guess he can't post anything because he doesn't have a job. But we continue.
Talking to you, Mr. Collins.
That's a question, Mr. Collins.
Sorry, I can barely hear you, Your Honor.
What can you post?
I can't post anything, Your Honor, no.
I don't think so. See what not having a job does for you?
See what not having a job does for you? But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Yeah.
What's his current bond?
10,000 cash.
Now his bond is 10,000 cash, meaning he has to come up with all of that, which obviously he doesn't have because he don't got a job. But we continue.
Like 10%, no, just 10,000 cash. That's it, Judge.
See, I have a gut feeling that because of the relationship, he's not going to leave her alone. That he's going.
And I think that that's pretty accurate. All right. They already got into a scrap. Allegedly, he was choking her and threatening her with a knife. She's got his baby in her gut. He's probably not going to stay away from her. And not only that, I'll say again, they said his brother got some psychological issues. So I'm with the Honorable Judge King on this one. I think he will be back around her and find himself right back here. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I'm going to continue to have contact with him. That's just my gut feeling based on what I'm hearing and what I know.
Well, Judge, at the end of the day, he has no priors. Even if he is found guilty or pleads guilty, he's probably not going to do a lot of jail time anyway. He's probably going to do a lot of probation and counseling. That's one of the things I also look at too. We're not talking about a whim, or a life of. We're talking about GBH, FADV, which is probably going to end up, if he is, guilty of anything. I'm not saying he is, going to be probably pled down to something a lot less. And I'm not trying to make any light of the situation because it's a serious situation. Anytime you're alleged to have put your hands on somebody, it's serious. And I don't want to take anything away from that, Judge. And that's something that, Mr. Collins is going to have to continue to deal with right now.
I'll set his bond at 10,000, 10% with the GPS tether, no contact with complaining witness.
Now that is a good look, because instead of coming up with 10 grand, you only have to come up with 1 grand and you can get out. That's a good look on the judge's behalf. All right, that's a good look. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Now, of course, Attorney Reagan is like, okay, because the attorney knows that that's a good look. All right, that's a good look. He's dropping it from 10,000 cash, even though he don't really trust the brother's intentions. He dropped it from 10,000 cash to $1,000, and he can get his ass out of there. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. But watch Reagan.
So you said 10,000, 10%, correct?
Yes, sir.
You wouldn't consider 10,000 personal and let him come back with a job if he goes out and brings proof that he's working?
See that? Attorney Reagan will come back in there, boy, and throw a few more shots. I like this public defender. All right? He does a good job of defending these brothers. He does. He does a good job. He never stops fighting for you until the very end. And he doesn't take no for an answer. And like I said, I believe him and the Honorable Judge King have a rapport and they respect each other. And that helps the brothers who sit where they're sitting right now. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
No, sir.
I think it's important for him to get a job, Judge. I mean, I don't like the way, like you said, he quit Domino's before he got another job.
That $1,000 bond, get a job when he does that.
I can't hear you.
Get a job once he posts the bond.
Judge, that's backwards. He can't.
He said, Judge, that's backwards.
Get out because he don't have any money. But I'm saying it was messed up for him to quit a job like the court said before he got another one. And I think that that's something that he should not have done. But if the court says, hey, by the time you come back, you get a job or I'm raising your bond up again, I think that makes sense, Judge. It allows him the opportunity to get a job.
I think the bond that I gave him makes a lot of sense, and I think it's very generous in light of the allegations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, so I'm with Judge King on this. Now, y'all might have thought that the brother was going to get out because you saw one brother come up with 11 felonies. You saw another brother come up with 8 felonies. This brother here only has 3. No priors. But because of the allegations and probably what evidence the judge is looking at, he still did not get a signature bond. Now, he did show him some humanity by making it so he only has to pay $1,000. But no signature bond. Now, y'all may look at that. They may not think that's fair. You may look at it and be like, wait a minute, this dude, he only had 3 charges. He has no priors. The other guys got out, but he didn't. What I think is happening here is that the evidence against this brother here is probably a lot more solid than the evidence that was against the other brothers, even though they had more charges. Y'all know where I'm going here, folks. The evidence in their cases, even though they had multiple felonies rattled off by the court clerk, is not that solid. And they were older brothers. They appeared to be more responsible. They worked. They appeared to be more sincere. And their allegations did not rise to his. And I think they really messed up. I think it was one misstep to Attorney Reagan here when he started mentioning what the woman did. Because notice, when these 3 men, these 3 brothers were speaking, this white lady district attorney said nothing as they chopped it up. She never chimed in as long as they were going back and forth between each other. This case, the 2 cases prior to this, she said nothing. She just let the brothers go ahead and talk. And the other 2 brothers got out. They chopped it up. The lawyer, the defendant, the judge, they chopped it up like 3 men. They got out. And this was going well until they mentioned what the girl did. They got the district attorney's attention. She chimed in. And that's what kept him locked up. I do believe if they hadn't have mentioned that woman, he would have gotten out too. Because she probably wouldn't have objected. That's where Reagan messed up and the brother messed up when he started talking at all. And the first thing came out of his mouth was what the woman did. Bad move. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
All right, you're welcome. Miss James.
Well, I think that's the end of it. Good stuff today. I had to bring this to you, good folk, because I actually saw some humanity today. Something you don't often see in a courtroom. But what I can say about the Honorable Judge Kenneth King, you see humanity in his court a lot. He likes to give brothers a shot. And like I said, when you come before him, man, you got multiple felonies. Y'all saw it for yourselves. But he will give you a shot if you can convince him that you're on the up and up. If you can convince him that you're serious about coming back and forth to his damn courtroom. This is a case of your honor showing you some honorable humanity. Even the last brother. Because even though they made a misstep, he still dropped his bond to $1,000. Because even when you screw up, the Honorable Judge King will still show you humanity. And I think that's important. I think that's very important. But we're going to go ahead, man, and wrap this up because that's all. I appreciate everybody coming through today, man. You could have spent your time anywhere. You decided to spend it here. It is appreciated. I don't take you good folks lightly, man. I never have, and I never will. You got my word on that. So, with that, I will leave you good folk with 3 words, you know, like I always do. Open your mind. Peace, folk. Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your mind.